quite adequate, or quite accurate. It's pretty telling right now is the situation that Astralis find themselves in. But if it's any indication, Sean, and you mentioned this the other day, the Renegades did win the warm-up. So with that in mind,
yes,
you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying that there's a lot of stuff that comes from Australia that can kill you. Snakes, sharks, spiders,
Renegades.
5 boys killing a nuke streak.
Yes, and, well, 1 New Zealander lingering around in there as well. But that's right, it's time for nuke. Let's fire the missiles as Renegades take on Astralis. And what has already gone away that no one could have forecast. It's going to be a quick upper hit here from the Astralis side. They've really run out here into the middle of the site with just about no defense.
Through the smoke. There might be a tiny gap in that smoke. I don't think so. Oh, Jacob drops into the site.
Big kills there from Jacob coming online and getting the plant down, though, as Astralis. Now up to Zipex and Glaive to try to turn this one back around. The number certainly not favoring them. And, well, as Glaive tries to fight for a lifeline here, that defuse is coming in a first round on the board of nuke for the Renegades. My goodness, are we in for a wild ride?
And yet again, Renegades with an amazing start to these halves. They've done it all major long. When they don't win the pistol, they force up and they will win the second round. These guys are phenomenal aimers, and it shows every single pistol round.
Yeah, and a great read here by Jacob to go ahead and take out that planter out of the equation, even though he had killed his teammate. Really good play there. And what is the first round for the Renegades? Definitely a good start. But again, this is Astralis. We're talking about 28-0.
I would look out for Dupree. We saw him do this against Complexity. He will just run outside right now and go straight to Secret, challenging anyone in his way. Well, he's going to do it again. He's just going to run right across. He did this exact thing to Complexity, and this is where Astralis gets dangerous, because now they have you spread apart. Yeah. They're going to go towards ramp. They're going to go all over the place right now, and this is what... This is the hardest part about playing Astralis on nuke.
Yeah, and the AK's here bought on the side of Dupree and Magisk. Now, there has already been success in this round in the purchasing power. 1 AK killed there on Diaz.
Has no idea that Magisk got to heaven.
That's going to be the big blunder.
He's actually checking right now, I believe. No, he's not. But he does know.
He might know. It looks like they have a sense of it. And that AUG will not reign supreme against the AK. Not going to hear that many times this tournament, but the cleanup is, in fact, going down on the other side of the map. Azure and JKS getting the SMG kills themselves, but really and truly, they are left in a rough spot. While they do drop the bomb carrier, it's JKS with 5 HP, does have a load of utility and a kit.
I think that's the key thing here. He has an HE grenade, and Magisk only has 13 HP.
Now, should he make noise, should they get wind of him in this vent, that's going to prove to be disastrous. He does somehow get out. This grenade's going to be huge. Does get the grenade frag on the Magisk. Now 1 versus 1. Glaive taking on JKS. Low HP there for the Australian. And the Savage himself trying to come online here and keep the hope alive for the Renegades in the second round. Bomb has not been planted and is starting to tick down now at the 22nd marker. JKS with the peek. Can't seem to get the kill in the exchange. Glaive was the better. And that round was very, very close, Mr. Sean.
Wow, both players playing that to perfection. You have to feel for JKS. You can see the disappointment in his eyes. He couldn't have played that any better, but the same thing can be said for Glaive there, faking the plant time and time again. Knows exactly where JKS has to come from in that one-on-one.
This has been and will be one of the most topsy-turvy rides of the major thus far. If you're just joining us, this is the second map of this best of 3 series, and you might not believe me when I say it, but the Renegades have, in fact, strung together the rounds needed to win Mirage.
Here we have Astralis spreading out their default, and they opt to throw this wall of smoke late because it's a meta in Europe to actually throw a Molotov and create a gap in the wall of smoke. So you'll never see Astralis throw the wall of smoke early at the start of a match. They like to feel out and test whether you're going to do that to them. But they're going ramp here.
Yeah, they've actually gone the complete opposite way. While the wall of smokes were outside, they've already
this left window. They love pushing this left window.
Oh, and he's punished for it too. The 5-7 coming out there alive and well as they're getting the frag on the Glaive. And that's not going to stop Astralis in their tracks. They are going to grab control of this entire bomb site, and quite a bit of damage there done on the side of Renegades. But that bomb will be planted, which should help Astralis no matter the outcome of this round. They're going to hits her off the device right about now. Zipnik's there to save the day. finding those 2 frags, and
Zipix getting all of the glory through the hole.
Yes, that's pretty accurate, Mr. Gares. I'd say that that's a pretty fair assessment as to what we just witnessed. And they're going to go ahead and concede this round, having pistols, walking away with a Deagle, CZ, and a 5.7. Now it's CZ, not to be confused with CZ. Same weapon, but...
So Chad did mention that Renegades played Ents on Nuke, but something that Ents doesn't do that Astralis does is Astralis will abuse ramp time and time again, and they'll do it from different angles. They'll throw the wall of smoke outside, they'll go ramp. They'll throw the wall of smoke outside, push under heaven, and go ramp from under heaven. They will try to come at JKS from angles that no other team has. And JKS is the ramp player for Renegades, and he's going to have a big match.
Yeah, and for a guy like Justin Savage, we know him to be a turret. We know that he has the capability to sort of get in there and win those duels one-on-one, maybe grab multi-kills, and really do the necessary defense that is the ramp room. But if they're going to keep exploiting it time and time again, it's probably going to cause for the Renegades to do something strange. And in this round, they're going to be doing just that. Pistols on their hands. And Astralis trying to barrel out. Yep, this upper sight is going to start to fall one by one. Magisk finding 2. And picking them apart to find the 3rd. Before JKS finds 2 as well. So, not all is lost, but again, a round on the board, and the money is starting to stack up yet again for Astralis.
Yeah, and I would look again for Astralis to throw this wall of smoke outside. Sometimes they'll actually throw the middle smoke last, so we might see Glaive just throw that on the fly. There's so many different looks they have on this map. They love pushing towards heaven. But what's important to note is when they push heaven, they're also putting pressure on ramp and squeaky door at the same time. And that puts a tremendous amount of weight on that player's shoulders.
So we do have a little bit of a tech pause here. Nothing major. No pun intended. 3-1, the current score line here is Astralis trying to bounce back from taking a big ol' L there in the first map of Mirage. And it would appear as though Magisk is a little thirsty, as you can see there by the hand gesturing. Not necessarily pertinent to anything going on in the game, but thought a interesting tidbit, Sean. You look a little thirsty yourself.
Indeed, Trace. Sometimes you just got to get some water, and you got to stay hydrated, especially when you're battling the flu that Zonic is bringing at you.
Yes, that's right. This will become ground zero for the T-Virus before we know it. Shout out to those that made that possible. But any second now, it does appear as though the game will become unpaused. Now, no matter what, when we look at Nuke, we have to sit here and say, yes, again, Astralis, the favorites. These guys very much in control of Nuke overall in the big global picture. Now, having lost that first map, giving a little bit of confidence to the Renegades, showing them that they are beatable, that can really go a long way in a team's mentality.
You know what, Trace? I want to agree, but Nuke is such a different beast when it comes to Astralis. There's so many things they do well. There's so many different looks they can give you.
Yeah.
Astralis has always been quite weak on Mirage, so if Renegades managed to break this streak, I think that would be the most incredible of storylines.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you beat them in a best-of-3, but then you beat them on Nuke? My goodness. The boys from down under.
By no means have they started poorly, though.
No, they haven't. They did grab that pistol round, and as we look at round 5 begin to unfold, utility has been utilized. They are trying to stop him. However, it's going to be one of these Astralis players getting down in the vent, but not for very long. He's going to opt by gratisfaction. Meanwhile, the hold is still there. It looks like we're going to see sort of a pinch again. Now, you talked about this, Sean. You talked about them wanting to get outside and sort of pincer in these Renegades players and maybe get over there to ramp should the opportunity present itself, but that's a long way off in consideration.
And they're smelling out this position from Liaz. Katowice has cleared so many different angles. At this point, they pretty much know for a fact exactly where Liaz is. And sure enough,
wrecked is the word you're looking for, Sean.
It does not matter.
Does not matter at all. Liaz coming out the victor and leaving Zipex and Dupree alive, all in their lonesome here. And Zipex with the bomb, trying to battle it out in ramp room, maybe get a little bit of ground.
Squashing them like they're beetles, Trace.
Yes. And walking right into the crosshairs will be Dupree. Another kill on the board here. 5 live in this round for the Renegades. A big monetary gain going forward. They're also battling a Zipex, though, so there's very much a chance here, but that's not going to be happening this round, at least. Jacob finds the ending frag of the round is going to be 3-2 Renegades, putting that second one up. And that's big out there by Liaz. You can see, and you knew that they smelled it. They knew that there was a big chance that he was playing there. You saw the flash. Ultimately, didn't come to fruition, and you just lined up, and you got the taste of the AUG.
Yeah, and that's something that a lot of teams lack when they play Nuke, is the awareness of understanding when you don't see things, the process of elimination of what the setup could be. Astralis understands all of those things to a perfection on this map. And here we have a fast inside take, it looks like. Smoke mollies towards Mini. I don't believe they're actually going to go with it, but
yeah,
this is very interesting coming out of Astralis.
Now, what they have done here is caused quite a bit of utility, and now that they've got that smoke out, whether the door is still intact or not, they've got them guessing. And now they're going to be able to flex back towards this ramp room. You talked about them wanting to punish JKS over there. The only punishment so far has been on to Jacob, now down to 12 HP, but JKS is about to find himself in a world of hurt. Astralis lining up. That Molotov will back him off, but he did get a kill on the Glade before he did decide to retreat. And now the 4 members here of Astralis remaining alive will elect to go down to this lower bomb site.
For them to push this left window, they'll do that time and time again on Nuke. They think it's so important to control the rotate into the lower site.
Yeah.
And here they are, Majestic and Device taking that side. The plant for them coming out of Zipix, Smoke in Decon. And this is going to be a hard round to retake for Renegades.
Very hard round, and they're going to let Gratisfaction sort of skate his way out here, and they're going to have to use some utility to get some more ground. It's going to be a hell of a fight here towards this control room. Gratisfaction leading the way, JKS behind him. And they haven't quite peeked into the window area yet. It's going to be Majestic gets the opening peek. The bomb now smoked off, but it does not matter at all. They have found all of the kills necessary and really just made a futile effort there out of the Renegades looking to retake that lower bomb site.
Yeah, and you can really see how difficult it is to enter that bomb site when they're set up in the control window and ramp room and top silo. You're just in the worst type of crossfire when you enter that bomb site. So if Renegades wants to stop these ramp hits, it's very, very important that they somehow find a way to contest that control room window.
Yeah, you can see them wanting to punish it time and time again, provided they do get access to that lower site. 4-2 the score now. Astralis, having found that last round, will put Renegades in a weird financial situation. They're going to have to save up as best as possible here, but we do see the P250 and the CZ coming out on Jacob and Azur. Azur having a hell of a tournament thus far, and the numbers will back that up, I do believe. Also having to evolve as the in-game leader and really rallying the troops now under this Australian-New Zealand banner.
Yeah, and if I'm being quite honest, his fragging, now that he's an in-game leader, has taken, honestly, a huge swing upwards. He's not taking a hit at all.
Well, you said upward, Sean. We're going to give you just that. Azur with that swing, but he's not going to be hitting too many home runs in this equation. It's going to be Glaive, Zipex, and Device with the kills. And they're going to find that upper bomb site and the bomb plant. And this where things, we say we can talk about money, but ultimately once this Astralis ball gets rolling, it's a tough one, especially on Nuke. A Nuke that they are all too familiar with and sometimes seemingly invincible on.
I think all the times they seem invincible on it, Trace.
Yeah, the numbers probably would back that up, right?
They do play quite a few close matches, I will say that, and oftentimes I've seen them with their backs against the wall, and all of the magic goes their way on this map. All of the clutches, all of the kills through smokes. They understand so many little fundamental details to the map way better than any other team. It's shocking to see.
The numbers check out, Mr. Gares, and so do these numbers. 5-2. A little bit of a skirmish there at the end of the round, but ultimately no one falls. It's going to be 5-2 in the way of Astralis currently. And as our first timeout reigns in, and it looks like the Renegades want to figure out a much more capable and better defense going ahead of this bye round.
So this is when you're Renegades and you're thinking, okay, they're abusing ramp a lot. What should we do at this point? Should we play heavier ramp? Should we be giving it up and dropping into the lower bomb site? Do we do an aggro outside setup to, take out that area of the map, and then we focus on ramp later on and the retake lower? There's a lot of options for Renegades right now. They could seemingly do many adjustments right now to what Astralis is showing them.
And as the timeout does tick away, it's time to get us into this 8th round. Again, a best of 3. First map going the way of the Renegades, helping their cause, helping the Oceanic cause. Greyhound probably looking on now.
It's a full ramp rush.
Yep.
They just keep abusing this ramp room. Is JKS going to be ready for this?
Well, the thing is he's not even there to fight it in the first place right now.
He's not.
Yes, they're going to go to this back hall again. They're going to jump through that window, and they're going to run right into him, barrel him down, steamroll him into the dirt. And that is the sort of play. I mean, you've got Device running through Molotovs now. The ground controlled by Astralis, and at the rate that they do it in this lower bomb site, there has to be an answer for the Renegades.
Yeah, Trace, and you could see the adjustment came out of Renegades. They did the second thing that I mentioned. They tried to play heavy towards outside. They played heavy towards yard. But when you're the best team in the world and the other team has to respect you, you can just full rush ramp. And it looks brilliant when you do it.
No grenades. Going in dry.
And that's the luxury of having teams fear you and knowing that when they call a timeout, they're going to change their game plan. Astralis abusing the fact that they are so strong on this map with such a call.
And a big call here. As another one goes on the board for Astralis. 6-2. Magisk leading the way with 8 frags. ADR spread pretty evenly across the board on both sides. But this one very much in their court still. Renegades having saved those weapons and that AWP. Going to put a FAMAS in the hands of JKS. And, well, they do have quite a bit of utility to back it up now. The only kit on Liaz. Should it even get down to a late round situation, it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But they're going to try to fight this right away, and they're going to put a ton of damage down on Astralis in the meantime, taking down Magisk. They're holding. They've kind of got something going for them here, which is a much different storyline than the previous rounds. And, well, Jacob's going to keep those numbers rolling as well. Finding a frag. 3 alive for Astralis. Big grenade here from JKS. He's needing to hold this ramp room.
Glaive
finds big damage onto Glaive, and he knows that the Thunder can smell him. And unfortunately, the FAMAS does absolutely nothing there, as they do have an open ticket and open door down the lower bomb site. Gratisfaction, though, there to respond. And it's now all up to Dupree, who's just right next to Gratisfaction. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all she wrote. A defensive round by the Renegades, and a big one at that.
Yeah, that was a very important round for Renegades to win with 4 alive. They need to focus on building this economy. They need to get all of the utility to stop these Astralis hits, and you can tell Astralis is testing it. They're testing how much utility they're going to use on that upper bomb site. If Renegades wasn't pre-molotoving both hut and door, I promise you Astralis rushes the upper bomb site right there. They're such a reactive team, but yet somehow manage to always be on the same page.
And that page needs to keep turning. Renegades is going to have to continue to find answers here for the problem that is Astralis on Nuke.
No, it's Gratisfaction. He's ready for it.
Yes, very good positioning for Gratisfaction. Does have the AWP set up there towards Secret. And if he can hold on there, if he can just keep that fight and win it even, that'll go a long way in the defense of these bomb sites. But this is a sort of adjustment that perhaps the Renegades need.
Yeah, and this is something that Astralis does so well. So if Device spots this AWP in Secret, what's going to happen is Dupree's going to quickly push towards Heaven because he knows an AWP won't be in Heaven. So you can see right now, they're going to feel out exactly where the AWP is, and when they do, they're going to react appropriately.
You can see Glaive using that Molotov there. Doesn't want anyone to skate out of that smoke onto them. Catch them off guard out in the open there and outside. They're just going to be kind of hanging around there. I mean, perhaps from the fact that Device can find a kill, but no, it's going to be Dupree who takes down that connector player onto Liaz.
And since they haven't found Gratisfaction towards Heaven, Device knows for a fact he's in Secret.
Yeah, they've got to know something. And JKS coming out on top there over Sit back. And we do have just a little bit of a stutter step. Not a dance maneuver, but JKS with 4. And it's going to be Device with an AK, and that really did kind of go wrong in so many different fashions. As Gratisfaction ends the round out, a real awkward happening there.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of skips coming in when you're watching the Astralis players right there.
You know, hop, skip, and a jump. No one's playing hopscotch.
No, they are not. Looks like we have a tech timeout taken.
You know, real weird time for that to happen, too. And yes, you can see the fact
just
that
not happy, immediately going to the keyboard.
Just typing it out. They're going to try to resolve this and figure it out what was that sort of tripped up moment. That was a very inopportune time, but I think in the meantime, we're going to hang tight with you. Now, that was in the middle of a round, so...
Looks like freeze time is counting down right now. All the headsets are on, so I believe we're going to stay live here.
Yeah, look, it looks like they're going to go for it here. You're crouching and spawn. That means everyone is happy, I think. That's the indicator.
There's a last-second buy coming out of Astralis. They don't have all of the utility in the world, but enough for sure.
That was a big round nonetheless, one that will definitely come back into question later on. I'm sure of it, as Glaive is the first victim to fall here. Weaponry out on the side of Astralis, now with 3 AKs and a Galil to their hands. The utility, though, they only have 2 smokes, so any sort of set pieces are going to have to maybe revolve around that. I think at this point, though, they're just trying to get a pick and maybe even these numbers back up. Gratisfaction, though, with this AWP, he has found this player on the top of the connector, can't seem to land the shot onto Dupree. With his 2 teammates set up outside. They want this fight to go down outside. They want to take these challenges outside. You can tell Astralis know that they're comfortable in this map. They know that they're comfortable taking the fight anywhere. So why not have it outside?
Yeah, it almost feels like at this point Gratisfaction is playing with fire, taking these peeks into Dupree time and time again. It looks like they're going to back off now and take the 5v4.
Maybe it worked. I mean, maybe Gratisfaction, the 4D chess simulation does continue, as they have backed off outside, now repositioning themselves and trying to figure out what it is that they're doing. Device finds himself eliminated from the round, as Azur continues to stack bodies up there. Dupree able to take down Azur with the trade, but Liaz is there with the response immediately, leading Zipex in a 1v4 with 30 seconds left on the clock. Again, with the bomb in hand, this is a very tall order. And I don't think the waitress is going to be helping him out too much today. However, goes for the second frag and indeed does grab it. 2 huge kills. He might be able to get this bomb down. Gratisfaction needs to find the easy frag there. Can't seem to do it, but he does put a considerable amount of damage in what is now a 1v2. While they do get the bomb planted, that got scarily close for the Renegades.
That did. If that bomb went down at that point, I don't know. I've seen Zipex win so many of those 1-on-2s from that point on. Gratisfaction, though, saving Renegades on a very important round, and it looks like they've finally stabilized. Astralis going to go with the pistols, and assuming Renegades takes this round, they're in quite a good spot for this half.
They are indeed, Mr. Gares, giving Astralis a run for their money on the map that they have built up quite the legend on. Again, we're going to see this fight going down outside. 5 CZs on the side of Astralis, and they're just going to barrel through this wall of smokes. They know how vital it is for them to get down to secret with a quickness. Liaz opens the round for the Renegades with a frag. Certainly does help things, and Glaive responding. So Liaz no longer with us here.
JKS in a very strong position.
Yes, and he does find success onto Dupree, but now what is he going to do? Now where is he going to position himself? He does know he's kind of pinched off here in the slower sight. He's just going to have to turtle in and try to fight it out up against these weapons. They've already given up 2 weapons. Now, with the AUGs in the hands of Astralis, they've come just a little bit more lethal in this round.
Yeah, so if you're Astralis right now, you know for a fact you've forced 2 players into this site. You know that JKS is down there, and you have to assume someone's guarding him.
Yeah, and Device here from the window room could prove to be just in the right position, but absolutely nothing to come of it just yet. However, has taken down Gratisfaction, so there's definitely a chance here. Definitely not going to write him off. No head armor, though. It's going to be JKS and Jacob against Device in a 1v2. The bomb down. Plenty of time on the clock, but he's got to find a kill here. He's got to start to figure out where this second player is. And, well, I guess that player's going to find him first.
That round perfectly. Moving around that lower bomb site, he found about 4 different positions there. All of them were just the exact perfect spot to stop the spread of that hit onto the lower side.
And your eyes do not deceive you. Astralis against the ropes here with another timeout used. They're going to have to use it wisely. The boys have strung together a series of rounds here. It's 6-6 being the scoreline, Astralis being tested, but you certainly cannot count them out of the fight.
No, you can. They've had so much success towards ramp as well as pushing heaven. You would have to assume Astralis is going to go to one of those two things here. They're likely going to mask it if they go towards ramp, though. They're probably going to throw like a wall of smoke this round.
Right. And
they could use that in several different ways.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them use it before. They wall of smoke, they sort of transition, go straight for the hard hit into ramp room, and there really is no answer at that point for the Renegades. JKS is, nowhere to be found in those moments for timing purposes. Wherever he is, he's just not there to fight it off. But Zipx trying to get up close and personal. However, Gratisfaction with the smoke and the AWP on the other side. This could be a very grimy one-way.
And here's that wall of smoke, and it does look like they're backing out. Gratisfaction's opping ramp, so if Astralis goes towards ramp, this is a different look.
Yeah, they're not going to expect that AWP player there.
We have an upper hit coming, I believe.
Yeah, it smells a little bit like upper, doesn't it, Sean? Liaz there in the connector. He's going to have to...
He's going to get smoked off here by Zipix. It's going to be all on Jacob to hold this site.
He's going to have to turn and do something. Got to help your battle buddy out here. Jacob going to be that big point of contact should they pop open that door. Again, 5 weapons over there for Astralis and plenty of utilities still to work with as
They've just pushed Gratisfaction off the line. That's going to demand a rotate, actually.
And that rotation is going to have to come in now because the hit is on, and upper sight is not going to be Astralis's. The initial hit is not going their way. 4 members fall with a quickness device, trying to find somewhere to get into the action from outside, coming through the connector. And with 30 seconds left on the clock-ish, it's not spelling too much of success in the way of Astralis in this round. 1v5. He does find 1 kill in the JKS, and the timing there to pull out the Molotov did not work out in his favor. And yes, that is right. The boys, 7-6, currently over Astralis on Nuke at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice Major.
They've done it. They've brought it back. After finally, they went up 1-0 on that pistol round. They lost the lead, and here they have gotten it back 13 rounds in. They find themselves up 7-6. Astralis on a pistol force buy as well.
Wow. I think that has to be going through everyone's mind right now. 6 rounds on the T side could go a long way as we look into the second half of play, but right now, Astralis are just going to get cooked up there in that ramp room. Katowice and Dupree having taken a ton of damage, and the CZs are going to have to do something here. Luckily, support there is for the Hopper, and it's going to be in the form of JKS. Now Glaive going to try to walk out of this hut and maybe find a frag, maybe not. But a bomb plant would go a little ways for Astralis. Now, they do have a little bit of money built up, but that is not how the cookie was supposed to crumble according to all of your pick'ems.
Not at all, Trace. Everyone at home is shaking right now at the thought of Astralis not going 3-0 for their pick'ems. Myself included, to be honest.
Yes, Sean Gare's looking extra sweaty now, sort of that of Glaive. Now, 50 seconds left on the clock. He's got to try to find somewhere to go, something to do, perhaps even just grab a gun and peel off at this moment. The only gun down be that well in the territory of the Renegades. He's going to keep this ladder room. Now they're going to have that information, and now JKS is going to close out the round. 8-6, the Renegades looking to close out the half the better, and leading the charge is JKS. 17 frags, 113 ADR, and quite the series of rounds strung together here by the Renegades. 6 to be exact, but weaponry now on the side of Astralis, Sean.
Yeah, he struggled early at ramp in this match, but he's rotated around the map so well, and he's really come into form in these later rounds. Here again, we have that early wall of smoke coming out of Astralis, and I believe they're going to go with a fast mini drop.
And they're doing something strange for a little piece of change here. And that wall of smokes does complete itself there on the back of Glaive's underhanded toss. The numbers, Gratisfaction's not going to know, but he's going to get the shot on the Glaive. Big kill, big scalp to take there. And that is going to make it very, very difficult for Astralis to hold it together. And you can see that push out a connector. He smells the fact that they want to get up into the rafters, but they're not going to be able to do it. Magisk finding 2 big kills, however. still leaving a fighting chance here in the round for Astralis.
And you can see they know they frag JKS, who's the ramp player. They immediately take this lower bomb site, get advanced positioning. Magic's going to get this bomb down. There's no one to stop him.
That's right, Sean. And the HP low on both sides here. We've got Device and Magisk versus Gratisfaction Jacob for the last round of this half. Gratisfaction finding his way through the vents now with the AWP in hand.
He did hear Magis, though. There was ones on the right side there.
Yeah, they're making a ton of noise back here in these back halls. Looks like they're going to try to take the fight from the same way. Device could find himself in a very advantageous position. In fact, he does. Eliminating Gratisfaction from the round. Jacob has got a response, but the time has dwindled. Now he's spotted this player on ramp. He's going to stick this defuse. There's no way that this is about to happen the way it is. You love to see it, Renegades fans. He stuck the defuse, and the Renegades winning the first half 9-6 over Astralis on the nuke is the most outrageous happening thus far, and the Renegades don't look to stop anytime soon. Make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here with more of the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice Major. Well, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the disappointment there on Device, and that, my friends, is a telling sign. Nuke going well in the way of the Renegades right now, 9-6, and a pistol round could definitely turn the tide of this in one way or the other. Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice Major of 2019. My name is Trace Stunnasaranthus, and alongside of me will be Mr. Sean Gares, and we are having a hell of a time understanding what it is that is going on here.
Much better time than it looked like Device was having right there, but this is the CT side. Astralis is known for this half. They're very dominant here.
The real question will be, is 9 rounds enough for the Renegades here? They already tried to contest ramp early on, and the headshots. Device cannot lay his head too low on that note.
He's going to have a much better time after that pistol.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Gares. Big pistol round here from Device, and all those frowns have now turned upside down. Still not enough for them to feel comfortable, though. They are the lesser still. As the pistol round does go their way, 9-7, still in favor of Renegades. That is not what you had in mind on your ramp rush.
No, not at all. And this is one of the first times all major where Renegades will not win one of the first 2 rounds of a half if they lose this Glock Eco.
Which has already been almost a fable story for the Renegades. Monumentous steps here. Every round will count. They want to end this in 2, having won the first map of this best of 3. But now the weapons over on the side of Astralis are going to prove to be a big problem. 5 Glocks, though, for Renegades. So not putting a lot of stock into this round. But nonetheless, they do have a job to do. They're going to try to get this bomb planted. That would be a little bit of success.
I reckon that's not a fight dog ever loses.
I don't think so either, especially when your swing is up. So, ladies and gentlemen, 9-8. And I think Astralis have had enough. But now that the money's looking just right and being fiscally responsible in that last round, Sean, that's going to net Renegades some weapons, isn't it?
It is, and we saw Renegades do a lot of cool things against Ents. We saw them throw wall of smokes into upper hits. We saw them throw wall of smokes, and they actually did the 4 walk behind the smoke. Now, that's a little bit trickier when Glaive's playing by the mini, walking behind a set of smokes. So I'll be interested to see if they try that against Glaive.
Yeah. And these weapons now are going to have to do something. They don't want to see this lead slip away.
They are. They're going to do it. They're going to try to get across this in front of Glaive.
But that Molotov is going to stop them dead in their tracks. Meanwhile, the smoke wall keeping them concealed. And the spam there from Glaive, unfortunately not doing too much damage. Just a little bit on the Jacob.
I will say, though, Trace, oh my goodness, he made it down.
They have committed to the project, and JKS in the vents. Big nade, though, there. Ton of damage onto the Renegades, and Zipex is kind of smelling what's going on. Finds himself in the lower sight. Set up for a pretty good hold here.
This is an angle and a half, Trace.
It is.
I cannot